Hi, my dear Pisces. Welcome to Lucy the Antigua Tarot. And my name is Lucy. And I am here to do your interpretation of the tarot cards for the reading of July 2016. So, my dear friends, let's take a look at it and see how you guys are doing with your reading, okay? All right, my dear Pisces. So, this is your 9 card spread. It's an amazing spread. You have 4 major arcanas. You have the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. La Rueda de la Fortuna. I bought these cards on a trip to Guatemala, and they have the Spanish titles to the major arcanas and the court cards. La Reina de Oros, or the Queen of Pentacles. So that's why they have these Spanish subtitles. So you have 4 major arcanas: the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, and the Empress. Okay, and then you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands, and the Three of Swords. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. I see all good energy here. I really don't see any negative cards, but except maybe perhaps the Wheel of Fortune might be a little bit challenging for you. And then we'll take a look at the Three of Swords. But let's start with the Magician, which is the number 1. It's the number 1 card of the major arcana. This is the Magician. All right, and this is all about self-mastery, sovereignty. It's about true self-respect, true self-love. So it talks about actively being involved as a magician in this world. So what does that mean? Well, a magician is someone who stands between the realms, stands between the worlds. If you look, he has his head in the cosmos. Okay, he has his head in the cosmos symbolically, and his feet are on the ground. Look at right here, he's got a garden around his feet. Okay, so he is standing between the realm of beyond, the sky and beyond, and the earth, the ground. And that's what they mean by that. And he's like an anchoring point. He's a bridge. He's bridging the light of the Creator down to the world. And that's what this means. That's what this card is symbolizing. That is why he's holding the scepter of power. Right here in his hand, he's holding the scepter of power, and which is connected to the higher realm. But he's pointing to the earth. See, here he's connecting to the higher realms, but he's also pointing to the earth. He's connecting these two energies. This is a very powerful card. It is the number 1. Okay, so he's mastered all the forces of nature. That's what it means. The wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle, which are the 4 suits in the tarot. The wands represent fire, the sword represents air, the cup represents water, and the pentacle represents earth, which are the 4 elements. Okay, so he's mastered all the forces of nature, all of its 4 elements. That's what that means. So this card represents self-mastery, movement from ignorance, and what we call the base identification, which is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is number 10. It's at the bottom of this process of moving up. You have both of them. Okay, so what you've done is it's self-mastery from total ignorance and base identification. Okay, base identification. Coming up through all those characteristics represented in the Kabbalistic tree of life on up to the self on a personal journey to the highest level of the crown chakra, because this one is the base chakra, and here you have the crown chakra, which represents total self-mastery. So that's what you have coming into your reading. Right next to it you have this Wheel of Fortune, which is the base chakra. And the Wheel of Fortune, as you can see, is the number 10. Okay. It's at the bottom of the tree of life. It's at the base. And it's the base instincts, the base energy. It's base identity, which is the mundane world, okay? Meeting the needs of the physical mundane. If you're at the base, that's what this card means. It represents pure earth identification, not really having knowledge. That is why you are on the wheel. It's the wheel of karma, which means we are in ignorance and we are subject. We are subject to. We are not in the state of self-mastery as we are with the magician, which we are in a state of complete mastery of the forces of nature. Here we are not. We are not in the state of self-mastery. We are subjects. We are ruled by the forces of nature. We are ruled by them. We are ruled by the base instincts, the base passions. Okay, the base passions. I want a red car. I want, material base passion sort of energy. That's what they're saying. Staying at this base level of identification will keep you on the Wheel of Fortune. It keeps us on the Wheel of Fortune when we stay at that base level of identification, because when we stay there, we are not going to grow and learn and progress. The only thing that gets us out of the earthbound base level identification is desire. And I'm not talking about the desire, like I said earlier, I want a blue car, or I want a Porsche, or I want, material things. That's not the kind of desire we're talking about. Okay? I want this thing or that thing. This is the desire for more or for the betterment within the self. Okay? The desire to want to better yourself, to want to learn something that's really going to help you grow. It's the desire for self-knowledge, the desire to know oneself, and also to know about the realms in which we operate, the natural world and its laws. So, when we make that decision to develop that desire for truth, for light, for knowledge, that's where the Hermit comes in, which is another card that moves up on the tree of life of the Kabbalah. So here you're at the base, and here you're at the crown. That's basically what they're saying here. So the Hermit, which would be the next level, would represent the desire for knowledge. Okay. But this card is at the root chakra, at the base chakra. And it's the root because it is where you nourish yourself to begin to set roots so that you may grow. Grow into a hermit, which is the sacrum chakra, the sexual union chakra, where you strive to better yourself and transform yourself, and then develop the willpower to care enough to transform not only ourselves, but also to help the process and transformation in others. And you have both of them. You have the highest and you have the lowest, which is very, very interesting. Another really interesting thing about your reading is that you have the Empress, and she's the number 3. So it's the Magician, which is number 1, and then we have the High Priestess, which is number 2, and then we have the Empress, which is number 3, and you have the Empress here. You have her here. So let's look at the Empress, okay? All right. But I'm thinking that before we go and look at the Empress, I want to focus a little bit more on these two dynamics going on with these two cards up here at the top. Because you have the Magician, and you have, it seems like you're reaching the point of mastery, my dear Pisces. Now this is a general reading, but there's something that's holding you back, that you are still at this base level of desire. And before I go into the Empress, I want to look at the cards that come below this Wheel of Fortune. And you have here the 3 of Swords, and then you have the 2 of Cups. And these are really, I think that these might be the most important cards in your reading for July. The 2 of Cups is a symbol of health and growth. It's divine power, and it's a very positive card. It's connecting with someone on a spiritual level, creating something very powerful. Off in the distance you can see a green hill with a white house with a red roof right here. Let me pull this up a little bit so you guys can see. There's a little red house there, a white house with a red roof off in the distance on top of these hills. Okay. And this is the same house that you see in the 10 of Cups. And it's also, it looks similar to this little castle going on here too. And let me pull the 10 of Cups out so that you can see that card. Hold on a minute. Let me just pull that out for you guys, just so that you can take a look at it. I have it here. Let me pull it out. Here we go. Okay, this is the card of happiness and joy. It's the 10 of Cups, and there's the house. The little red house, the house with the red roof. And this is definitely, you know, a happy card, finding love, family, stability, meeting all the needs, emotional and physical, with this rainbow of 10 cups. So that's, in the 10 of cards, you're there. In the 2 of cups, in the 10 of cups, yes. In the 10 of cups, you're there. In the 2 of cups, a truce needs to be formed to get there. Okay, so this card is all about friendship and balance between two opposites. Balance between opposites. Opposites, man, woman. Opposites, victory versus lustful passion. Sexual appetite. Okay. Balancing those forces. And why victory versus sexual passion? Why is that? Okay. So, in other words, opposites, because if you are giving in to your lustful passions, then you are not being victorious. Spiritually, you are not being victorious. So it shows opposites working together, or two forces working together. Okay, making friends, aside from it being the symbol of friendship, it is also about making friends with yourself or different parts of yourself. Okay, embracing opposites and seeing how these two opposites can come together to create a lot of positive energy. So what I'm thinking here is that you are getting the Wheel of Fortune, and it's right above here, because there's something that you still need to balance within yourself, and that's why you're getting this Wheel of Fortune. There's something going on. It could be related to sexual passion, sexual desire, uh, which you still need to learn about. Hence, you're getting these cards, and you're getting this one, which is the Three of Swords. Okay. And the number 3, yes, it denotes stability. It denotes foundation. So, or it could be the beginning of a foundation. It could also mean moving forward across boundaries, move into new territory. So I have a feeling that you might be coming to a realization about how you've been thinking about and responding to love, romantic love, perhaps. And that it could possibly be telling you that there's still some base identification, thought process, and behavior that it's at the very base level, and that you need to progress in that love, in that area. Hence why you are getting this card, because you're starting out with this. So perhaps that is one area that you still need to work on, Pisces. Now this is how I am reading the cards, and this is a general reading. Okay, but we still have to look at some of these cards around you, and what I would like to do is, instead of doing the Empress first, I would like to look at the Star, which is right next to your Three of Swords. And with this card, we're deciding to accept a truth about our lives and integrate this truth into our lives. So there's something here going on here. Let's move these away a little bit. Okay. That you need to balance something, an energy about yourself, and you need to accept that truth about yourself. Okay? Yes. Right. Let me look here. Okay. Let's pull out the Star card. Here you go. The Star is all about realizing your own inner wisdom and joy, learning, growing, moving up so that you can get off the wheel of karma in terms of romantic love. That's what I'm thinking is going on here. Reach your total spiritual self. Okay, your own inner wisdom. And when you do this, you will see something amazing happen in your life. And that's what that card means. Okay. Now, so you have these beautiful cards. You have the Queen of Pentacles, another beautiful, very positive card. And with the Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles are earth energy, and she's the queen. Okay, she can control and live within the forces of of the pentacle energy, which is earth-based, in a very positive way. She's mastered that. And that kind of reflects with your magician. You've mastered the pentacles. You've got the queen. Okay, and this is an earth-based energy, and it means independence, self-made, generous, nurturing, comforting, earthy, strong, and dependable. Okay, that's what that card means. It's a creative energy. It's an innovative energy. It's an artistic energy. You might be artistic, musically inclined. And the call to action of this card is that for growing and flowering, you need to give it your love. Okay, so whatever energy is happening here in relation to romantic love, perhaps a relationship with somebody, or just in general how your relationships perhaps aren't working too well, you need to get some of this work done, get some of this base level identification moving so that you can move up and learn and grow and progress. And by giving it your love and attention, okay? Approach it with love and attention, perhaps. That's what it might be saying, I believe. Okay? Now, you also have, and this is what's crowning you. Okay? And so you also have this Four of Wands. And this is the promise of happiness, contentment, joy, celebration, great excitement. Okay, an opportunity to socialize with people who you come in contact with on a daily basis, to develop those social bonds. Okay, which can bring about very positive outcomes in terms of people that you know on a personal level, people you know on a professional level. Okay, so it's almost like, okay, so you kind of, this might be telling you some of the things you need to do here that will reflect in these aspects of your life, perhaps. Okay. So these are really great cards, very positive. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles. Let me move it here so you can see it, the Ten of Pentacles. And actually, if you look at this card, Pentacles, it's 10. It's stability in terms of meeting your earthly needs. And there's a woman and a man, a child, there's children, there's dogs, pets, an older man, grandfather type figure. It's like a promise of abundance for everyone in your family. And it's telling you, you know, this card is sometimes, it denotes making a decision. It's like, it's time to make a decision. That's what it could be saying. It's time to make a decision, to have faith, and to move on. Take advantage of opportunities that come your way. All right, so it could be, again, in relation to this energy that we're talking about that's right here at the center of your reading, this right here. Okay. Take advantage of opportunities. They're right there in front of you, it's saying. Okay. With this card. It really is a beautiful reading. And then your reading is coming out with the Empress, which is the number 3, like I said earlier. Okay. Excuse me. And she is the universal mother. She is the representation of fertility and for creation, creating new things. She is the door of life. She is the womb of manifestations in which all things come into being, where all is born and all takes form. She is part of the intellectual triad of the Kabbalistic tree of life, in company with the magician and the high priestess. So you already have two of this triad. The only thing you don't have is the high priestess, but you have these two, and he's coming in and she's leaving your reading. You're leaving this reading with this energy. Very, very positive, my dear Pisces. This is a general reading, you guys. These three cards all represent states of mind. Okay? Among other things, but mostly state of mind. What is going on, what is your state of mind? And it's transcendental states. Okay. And they go above where your ego consciousness resides. So it's going beyond the ego. And perhaps this is the promise that you will reach. You're going to grow beyond your ego in terms of this right here. Love relationships, perhaps. This is a general reading. This is how I'm reading it. So this card represents the path between the father and the mother and their creation. In other words, the father is the conscious mind, and this energy implants in the womb of the mother energy, okay, which in turn creates. Okay, so it's all about making those root work, that base work, so that you can get to this level of creation. You're almost there. Okay, in my opinion. So she's going to be the path between father and mother. You know, that process of planting the seed and then creating. And that's why she represents fertility. Reproduction of something new, creating something new, the union of these forces. And you have, again, it's totally related to the Two of Cups too. The union of male and female, creating and manifesting reality. So when you balance these energies, this other part of you, these two parts of you, you learn to balance them, and let's see here. You learn to balance them, and because they're opposites, that victory over lustful passion, what we were talking about with this card. Once you can balance those two forces up in yourself, okay, you'll be able to produce it. This is a very powerful force right here. When you learn to balance those two dynamics of the self, you can create a lot of really great energy with that. And if you do that, you will get to this point with the Empress. You'll be able to be productive in a much more positive way, and it'll be like a transcendent way. You guys, that is your reading. Those are the cards that were dealt. Okay, so have a great month of July, and I will see you in August. You guys take care. Bye-bye.